Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the no disclaimers book tag. Now the original tag is unavailable. I do believe the person who created this tag is named Yanis. If I find the link, I'll leave it down below, but I don't think you can actually go to the original video, so yeah. But I was tagged in this tag by Miss Coco Chen. She is absolutely wonderful. She does really great 30-second book reviews, and I would definitely recommend checking out her channel if you haven't already. So the first question for this tag is, which trope or tropes do you hate? So I'm a pretty laid-back reader. I don't really hate a lot of tropes, but the one trope that I absolutely abhor is the whole "I'm not like other girls" trope. So essentially this trope is the main character of the novel or whatever type of writing it is will specifically hate the things that other girls hate in order to be seen as unique, and it just annoys me so much because it perpetuates girl hate, and it's teaching teenagers that in order to be perceived as special, whether it be because of wanting to get a love interest or being liked or being noticed by a certain somebody, you have to go against the grain and hate everything that is fun. I see it a lot in modern day as well. A lot of girls will be like, oh, I don't like Justin Bieber because everybody else likes him. And it's just very harmful for girls to think that way, because girls, especially in their teenage years, need to be lifting up other girls instead of hating on them. Like I said, it breeds a lot of girl hate, and so when a specific girl, say, does like Justin Bieber, you're like, oh, she's the worst because she likes Justin Bieber. I don't like Justin Bieber, so I'm obviously better than her. And it's those kind of tropes that breed girl hate within society, and it's something that I hate so much in books. I think that it should be put to rest, and I think that girls can like whatever the fuck they want, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make you a less interesting person. It doesn't make you a more interesting person to like or dislike the things that you like. And yeah, that's a trope that I hate. The second question is, which authors or author do you think is or are overhyped or overrated? You know, I think that Sarah J. Maas is kind of overhyped. In my opinion, I think that the writing is really drab. I think that her romances are very similar in the way that she writes them. I think that her characters are shells of each other. Like Feyre and Aelin are very, very similar. And I don't know. I just don't like her books. I used to like her books. I don't really like them now. The third question is, which book or what are some of the books that you have read since joining BookTube that you hate? There's one that I can specifically think of. I read it in February of this year and I gave it a 2.75 out of 5 stars, and it is The Past and Other Things That Should Stay Buried by Sean David Hutchinson. I have since unhauled this book. Essentially the premise is that the main character's best friend dies and then gets brought back to life through extraneous circumstances, and they have to try and like go through their broken friendship and everything like that, and I just really didn't like it. It's the first Sean David Hutchinson book that I read, and I really regret reading it, honestly. It took up so much of my time. I just wasn't interested in the story. I thought that the main friendship was crap. I thought that the book was going to be about overcoming toxic relationships, but all I got was like fat phobia and terrible humans. June especially, I just thought that she wasn't a good human at all. I don't know if that was maybe the point of her existing, but I just didn't like the book. I thought that it was really boring. It had no plot, and I just didn't like it. The fourth question is, what is a terrible ending that ruined an otherwise quality book? I can't really think of anything right now other than, I think that this is just a personal preference, but Sadie by Courtney Summers has a very open-ended ending. I just don't do well with open-ended endings. I feel like it sort of, I don't know. I just thought that it maybe took the impact away a little bit from the overall story, and it's something that bugged me, but it didn't take away from the quality of reading. So I don't know if that really answers the question. I'm bad at serving the tea because like nothing really disappoints me. The fifth question is, which fictional character do you wish wasn't killed off? The one that really annoyed me was Nehemia in Throne of Glass. Oops, that's a spoiler. But and this brings it back to the first question about tropes that you're tired of, is I hate when the POC or marginalized character gets killed off for the white girl's gain and for her to like develop a character, because like Selena didn't really have a character to begin with, and adding a POC's death to that just made her sad. I wasn't into it. I thought that Nehemia was much more of an interesting character than Selena, and I just got bored with Selena after Queen of Shadows, and I was just like, yeah, I'm done actually. So the 6th question is, what are some of your bookish pet peeves? My bookish pet peeve is when people have bookish pet peeves. I hate when people judge people for doing shit to their own books in their own home. I just think that that's silly. People can do whatever the frick they want with their books, and like, why would it affect you in a way that would make you so angry that you had to say something? Unless you have a sensory disorder or like a specific trigger with it, then why do books have to be pristine? Like, I dog ear and annotate my books, and my books are still in good condition. They have my writing in them, but they're still in good condition. If somebody spills food on their book, it's not gonna ruin the story inside the book. Like, I don't understand. It's their own personal library. Why would you want to judge somebody for that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm getting unreasonably heated about this. I have been judged so much for writing in my books. Are you gonna read this book that I have in my personal library? No? Then you don't get to have an opinion. I'm sorry, but another thing that really bothers me is when people are like, that's the worst way to organize your bookshelf ever. Who cares? Nobody cares. The only person that cares is you. And like, why do you care? Do you want to dictate every single thing about books because you feel like books are such a part of your personality that you can't understand why anybody would want to do anything different than you? I'm just gonna stop with this question now. The 7th question is, what are some books that you feel deserve more recognition? There are so many books that nobody knows about that deserve so much more hype, and it's crazy to me. It's crazy that some of my favorite books have not received more love and more attention. It's unbelievable to me. Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst, Ink Mistress by Audrey Coulthurst, Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh, The Archived by Victoria Schwab is a genius paranormal mystery, and I absolutely love it, and I don't understand why nobody else has read them. I feel like BookTube only reads new releases or things that have been published past 2015, and it drives me wild. It sucks that marketing is something that dictates the success of another book, because there are so many good books out there that just received little marketing because of the content or the author being not well known or the author getting less of a deal than another author. It's just wild to me. And quite honestly, a lot of these books are queer books. Like, A Fire and Stars is queer. Reign of the Fallen is queer, and it just drives me insane that people don't read these books because they don't see them. So if you haven't read any of those books that I mentioned, then please go read them because they are wonderful. The 8th question is, what are your views on censorship or banning books? So I'm not really super educated on this specific topic, so I don't want to say this with like any vehemence because I don't want people to think that I'm preaching to the choir when I don't know enough about this topic. Like, I would like to say that I don't want any books to be censored, but I would have to look into it a little bit more before I said something with passion. So for now, I'm just gonna say I'm not too sure. The 9th and final question is, who do you tag? So there are a couple of people that I want to tag, but I don't know if they've done this tag yet. So I'm gonna tag Tea Time with Naomi. I don't think Naomi has done this tag yet. I'm also gonna tag Jaded Reader because I literally tag her in everything. Madison Mary, have you done this tag yet, Madison? I'm sorry if you have. Bow Ties and Books, I don't know if you've done this yet, Jessie, but if you haven't, you should do it. Mika, have you done this? I don't think you have. You haven't posted a video in a while, so do this video. That's all I can really think of right now. I'll probably tag more people on Twitter, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head because I don't want to go and look at my laptop because I'm lazy. But that's it for the no disclaimers book tag. This was really boring because I am like the least controversial person ever. If you liked this video though, well, God knows why you would, make sure to leave it a like and a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything you disagree with. Respectfully, please. I'm not looking for any fights, but I would like to discuss some things. The censorship thing in particular, if you have more knowledge about that without like being strenuous, let me know in the comments because I would like to learn a little bit more about that. As always, all of my social media links will be down in the description box below if you'd like to follow me on my Instagram or my Twitter. As always, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Tea is so good.